it's like, oh, hey, this new shit's come up. I'm gonna jump in. He steals he doesn't steal. He takes everybody's loot, or the chances that the loot, and then all of a sudden he stops playing for like 4, 5, 6 weeks while everybody else is struggling. So
Yeah,
I
it's
kind
to
of
keep
get
those
that
people
depreciation.
that get loot in there to carry everyone else through.
Yeah.
I get that.
Hey, just quickly, Heels, Heels might have to go to bed. What do you want to say, mate?
Just with what we were saying before with the whole like bidding thing, and I mean it's not a bad thing, I guess, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, say there's three people that have like 4,000 points each, and something drops that they all want that's 1,000 points. If every time that happens, is it not just going to turn into like a word of mouth bid of each person going, well, I'll pay 1,500, and the next person's going to say, oh, I'll pay 16. Oh, well, I'm going to go to 2,000. Oh, I'm not going to go more than that. And then
that's exactly what
they're just going to, yeah, like, would that not, like, just to save everyone else doing a bid for real, and then 2 people losing half their bid?
I mean, you are welcome to whisper someone and say, hey, if this drops, I really, really want this. Would you be willing? Are you wanting to bid on this too? And you guys work it out between yourselves before you actually put points on it. There's nothing we can do to stop that. But if
and we wouldn't want to stop it.
Exactly. If you and I, since we're both healing priests, if you and I want the exact same item and we both want it completely, and neither one of us is willing to budge on it, then we would probably both drop every point we could, and then in the end it would be a roll. So one would lose half the points, one would lose all the points. But we don't have a whole lot of people in the guild that are not willing to be like, yeah, that's fair, you can want this. And also, you and I are both healing priests and probably would not be running in the same raid unless it's a 25 man. So there's that as well. And TBC is a lot better. It's not perfect, but it is a lot better. So we're not sharing a whole lot of loot with other people. There will be some shared with druids, for instance, but not just about everything, not our dresses and stuff like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
I wanted to ask also. So if they want to spend 5,000 points on a 1,000 point item, gross exaggeration, that's their problem for the next 4,000 points, while you're sitting there going, okay, well, I'll take it next week. I'll take it the week after that. Oh, I'll take that other item because I didn't spend 4,000 extra points on that. Oh, I'll take that third extra item because there's, I'm still ahead of them in points. So it does balance out. It's not like a GDKP where they can just call up, their local, shard farmer and buy more.
So I do want to say
you have to attend.
Too, that anytime I've actually used a system, or anytime I've known a guild that uses a system, the core raiders never usually complain about it. The only people that usually complain are the brand new people who join the guild and they don't have the points to be able to spend until they're there for at least a few weeks. That's the only people that usually complain.
Ark, I can't hear you well.
So what he said is that the core system, the core group of raiders that we have, there's almost never a complaint about each other getting gear, which is what we're going to have with these primary guild runs, or not primary, but guild runs. We're going to have our core raiders, not a random pug or a brand new guildie coming into these and complaining, or not complaining, but being able to get them with us. They'll have to build their points up, like Tell said earlier. They're going to, it's going to be the same virtual family that we have built, going for gear. And generally, even when we lose it and we're a little bit consternated, we celebrate their win. And that's what we're hoping continues this way. But we're also going to reward loyalty and stuff. So that way, instead of it being a slash roll, we can be like, hey, you've worked for this, congratulations, you earned it, good job.
How much are the legendaries going to be, like the warglaves and the mounts like the Ashes of Valar?
$1 million.
Price is to be decided.
Yeah, legendaries are definitely going to be to be decided. We will have plenty of time to discuss that.
And to be fair, that's actually a great example, because that's one of those points. That's one of those items that's always a point of contention. So if you get in there and you've been sitting there through, phase 1 and through phase 2, and you're in phase 3, and they're going. You do not want the new kid being treated just as equally as you, and there are going to be a lot of people doing it. There are a lot of people who are going to roll all sorts of crap, phase 1, phase 2, and when we get into Black Temple, they're going to be like, oh, I want the glaives, so I'm going to go find a new guild, and I'm going to try and shank them for glaives. Nope, that's
Right.
that ain't going to fly.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I've had my own bad interactions with this kind of system in the past, and not because I was new, it was because they decided not to tell me what the rules were. One thing that I am confident of is with this group is that watching how fast everybody work their asses off for an hour to get Ark his Thunder Fury, and how wicked fast we got a group together for Wrath to get his mace. I know that there are not a lot of selfish, totally self-centered people in this guild, that we're going to run into the problems and the scenarios that you guys are talking about. What we're trying to do is reward all of you guys, everybody who was in Molten Core tonight. This is a system that we're wanting to put together for you guys, because you guys are our core raiders, and we want to make sure that you guys benefit from the hard work that you put in to making sure that you're here on time, and making sure that you have everything that you need, and you're able to help out with other people. I've seen all of you do it. It does not surprise me. What the system is for is to keep the guy that comes off the street from taking your bis when it rightly should be yours.
An example of tonight, we pulled on time, so everybody, and I didn't see anybody with a in guild anyway with a less than 99% gear score or gear level. So that means that we would have gotten 1,000 points for all the bosses, and then an extra 100 points for everybody, everybody coming in. So, except for Artemis would have only had 1,000. Everybody else would have had 1,100 points tonight because they were on time and they were
Pussy.
they were prepared and they beat all those.
And to touch on that, so Artemis is a great example. We know he gets off work at X time and he's going to be 5 minutes late. Known items are way different than just consistently, it's 7:05, we're still trying to fill 5 spots. Where are people? Why can't we find them?
Yep.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it's not that we weren't sure if Paimon was going to show up tonight. We knew he was going to be there. It's just we all knew his work schedule. We knew he was going to be there, and sure as hell, there he was.
To be fair, I don't consider myself an exception to the rule. If I'm late, I'm fine giving up those on-time points. Yeah. I don't think there should be special circumstances. And
my point was, it's different if we know you're going to be versus...
Yeah.
But every once in a while, Paimon, you might be early, and so you will get the points.
I have a question.
Not on my watch.
Question. Go for it.
I know what you're saying about being late, but like take an example of where, say, there's a raid, and then one boss into the raid, we have to sub somebody in. How does that work for them?
They don't get the 100 points for the boss down, and they don't get the 100 boss for being on time and early. Not a punishment, but they don't get rewarded for something they didn't accomplish. But
there might be a little bit nuance there.
Accurate.
There's going to be nuance in there because we need someone to fill to finish the raid, and I will not be going into a raid halfway through, even if it is to help people out. If I'm not getting points,
I'll tell you what.
Run it somewhere else.
Something that we can discuss.
No, you're going to get points.
No, I'm not going to get full points.
If you are like, let's say, like we can, this is stuff we'll hash out later, but you can be, let's say somebody's on bench to fill. Maybe if they're sitting on bench, they can at least get 50 points or something like that. For
on call pay.
Or maybe they should just get the 100 points for being there and being ready.
Yeah, I mean,
just in case.
The only reason
they do have to get off the bench, then they should be rewarded for that fact that they were ready and they were on standby.
So an example I will use because it's eventuated already. So Sluds wants to tank one of the main groups. He's away every week, so it's gonna get weird because someone's gonna have to fill in as a main tank every second week.
Are they filling in or are they alternating? So bad example because you and Sluds are on the exact same rotation, so it could never happen. But I'm going to use you and Sluds. So say you want to tank 1 week, but you're gone, so you can't tank both. And then Sluds wants to do the same thing. So you two alternate because that's the way you're.
It actually gets even worse because I'm not there as well. So there's a tank not there and a DPS and a priest. So now three
so the
people
priest
have to
is
fill
the
in.
opposite. So Chris is on the opposite rotation. So whenever you guys
Well, when we're home, neither of us are a priest, so someone's gonna have to fill in.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Without being, specific to the player for the role, that's where signups become important. That way, raid leaders go, I know who's going to be here. I know who's not. And when people aren't showing up, that could be a problem. Now, back to somebody disconnects.
The problem I'm like posing is that person that fills in, like,
might be Arc
where are they?
on his
Where are they
druid.
coming from?
Yeah, it might be. So this is the purpose of some of our alts. Okay, when you have alts for, let's say, I'm not gonna be. Let's say I'm not in your raid team, right? But I have my druid that's level 70. My druid is both a resto druid and a bear druid. Okay. When you're not there, I go in there because I can show up to almost all the raid times. Okay. So I don't need to be there for my raid time because my raid time is a different day of the week. So I can go there on my alt as backup.
It's not as awkward of a thing if we're using alts and stuff now. If we have so many people that we've got multiple tanks saying, "Hey, I want to tank, but I don't want to tank every other week," then we may just be able to spin up another group, and it could be filled with, say Tell is the main, and he's in group B that's migrating, but he also wants to get his mage in there. He's got his alt, and he can come to both raid groups because there's room. And then all of a sudden, a third one spins up. He's like, "Oh heck yeah! I've also got sadist." So we've got people who have alts, if needed, because there's too many actual people behind the characters to.
So in saying that, is there a limit on how many tunes you can raid in main groups with?
No, as long as the people have access to it. We're not going to let, again, Tell, thank you for letting me use you. We're not going to let Tell shut someone out because he wants to bring all of his tunes into the main groups. Right. If, he gets one primary character that is given a spot, that's going to be guaranteed. Any other characters that are guaranteed a spot are because we don't have a body to fill that spot. If we have a body that wants to come fill that spot.
So
yeah,
what
that
we'll
comes
probably
back to declaring your main and try and keep those teams together.
Exactly.
Yep. And what we'll probably do, we have so many alts right now as it is. We'll probably have people that can show up for most of the raids. If we can, like, let's say me and like, just for example, Art here, right? We have a character designated to be when your Sluds are gone for the week. So we can actually be there to tank when you're not there.
Yeah, so Ark will bring his druid to tank in place of Carl, and Art or Sim or Tell or Teronius bring one of their alts that are DPSs to take the place of Carl for DPS. So you guys are taken care of. Heal Sled is the concern, but we've got people like Sun, who has multiple healing alts, who is most likely going to be able to take the place. That being said, obviously Sun and Heals need to be separated if we're going to have her sub, if she's willing to sub for Heals when he is gone on his rotations. But he's also on rotation right now, and he was able to raid tonight. So take that into consideration. Sometimes you guys are able to raid.
Well, Heals.
Points, yeah.
Heals typically he brings his work computer there, and I think like he doesn't go. He
doesn't
raid.
sleep, so
yeah, he doesn't sleep.
Yeah,
the
so
roles
that's
are,
why it's
are
signups
what are
are.
important.